I'm here with Carlo Calimon from Startup Village. Hi, Carlo. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Carlo, just want to find out what criteria are you looking for when considering investing in a startup?
Well, I always look at the founders first. I want to see how they work. I want to see their grit, and I want to be able to see how they think. But also at the same time, I'd like to see how passionate they are about solving that problem. And then from there, obviously, I look at the problem and try to see if the solution that they came up with is actually something that solves that problem. And at the same time, seeing how innovative that idea is in comparison to what's already out there. Then I would also determine if the market is ready, right? If there's a market that's going to be able to take advantage of that solution.
So tonight we are at the Block Dojo Investors Night. It's a culmination event for these three startups. We're using blockchain technology for their platform. Your thoughts on the startups that you met here tonight and their presentations?
Well, I think they've gone through a very rigorous program, right? Which, you know, gives me more confidence also in their ability to execute. I think they have great ideas. Some of the problems that they're solving, we've actually seen in the past, and nobody's been able to crack the code. So I'm hoping that this may be the opportune time for these solutions to actually come out and for these problems to actually be solved. Like from one of the startups presented, the problem that they're trying to solve was already out 5-6 years ago, and still up to now, nobody solved it. So the only question I would ask is it the time now, and are they the actual people to solve that problem?
Any promising ideas that you heard here tonight that you think the Philippines can really benefit from the most?
Well, definitely, the ideas that came out can benefit the Filipino people. All of them are very relevant, and I think that the problems that are being solved are essentially critical also to helping uplift certain segments or certain industries. There is a niche or there's a space for these solutions to actually come out. So it's just a matter of saying, okay, is it the time? And are people going to pick it up after?
What about the use of blockchain technology? You think the Philippines is ready for something like this?
Well, I've always been a firm believer of the practical use of blockchain. I think that people just confuse it, right, with other use cases that are not so palatable for them, or people just simply don't understand it that well. But for me, I've always seen the practicality behind it and the relevance of being able to track data, documents, and so on. It's just a matter of, okay, is it the time for us to use it now?
Is it the time for us to use it now?
It's always the time. It's just a matter of whether or not some people will pick it up. People just need to be able to experience and see how it positively impacts them and not necessarily understand how it's being done in the background, right? For as long as you're able to experience it positively, then it should work.
Yeah, as long as it works.
Yeah, for as long as it works.
Right. Has your company invested in any blockchain startups?
We have been working with several blockchain startups over the past 7 years. Some of them also in the supply chain and other use cases.
And your experience been so far?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. So very excited for the next cohort.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer of blockchain.
Yes.
Well, great. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you so much as well.
I'm here with Jaymes Shrimski from AHG Labs. Hi, James. Thanks for joining us tonight.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
First, for those who don't know, what is AHG Labs?
Sure. So AHG Lab is a venture studio situated in Metro Manila, Philippines, specifically in Poblacion. I'm quite proud of that fact. So we incubate startups, so we're definitely very early stage. It's not just about investing capital. From our lens, it's about providing them the tools that they need to focus on their product. So what does that mean? It means handling the financial side, fundraisers, handling the operations, which we do assist them with, and aiding them with their marketing. And we have an in-house marketing agency that helps them essentially get their ideas into the market visually and I guess viscerally as well.
Have you invested in blockchain startups?
Currently, we have not. I can't as much speak for AHG, but I can speak for myself personally that in the Philippines, it has not been a sector that I have gained a lot of coverage on, which is actually why I'm very interested in events like tonight at Block Dojo, because I understand that the current cohort is 3 startups, but cohort 2, I know that they're looking to try and get 6 to 8. So as these sorts of industries become bigger and bigger, and of course more people come to them and have startups, and ideally more capital flows into them as well, maybe me personally, I get more of a very strong instinct with regard to blockchain. But at least personally, again, not speaking for AHG, I don't have that in the Philippines yet.
Did any of the startups here stand out to you?
I mean, I'm inclined to say that anything with regard to property and property technology, it does resonate, because I see where it fits into businesses that we've been involved in over the 2-year space. So that was definitely very interesting for me. Yeah.
And on a personal note, you mentioned your interest in blockchain, and possibly also a reason why you wanted to see what was out there in terms of startups who are using blockchain technology. What are your thoughts on emerging technology such as blockchain and AI in the whole Philippine landscape? Do you think this is a promising tech that can be used and utilized and that can service the Filipinos better?
Yeah, I think that all of the macroeconomic pieces are there. You have a massive second largest population in Southeast Asia. In terms of tech adoption, you have incredible percentages, and that's maybe why you get so much interest from foreign VCs and startups who are willing to enter. For technologies like blockchain, I think for the most part, we've seen its application in gaming, which is a good sign. But for the things that I think could really use that sort of adoption, things like, titles to land, verification of ID. How much of the population is unbanked? How much of that is because they do not have IDs? I think those are the really big problems that, I'm excited to see them get solved. We just need greater adoption. And I guess that's a chicken and egg thing. You can't have adoption if you don't have people coming in, setting up startups to do that. Obviously, we've seen this as a startup space by large in the Philippines. A lot of the first movers did fail, and I'm just wondering, in the Philippines, with regard to blockchain specifically, have we already seen that wave come and fail, or is it in that process, or are we past that, and are the ones that are going to stay and be the next big names, is that already here? But that lives to be seen.
Right. Well, thank you so much, James, for speaking to us tonight.
No worries. I hope it was of some help.
Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin wallet, blockchain, stablecoins, MetaNet, the evolution of money. Everybody is talking about Bitcoin today, but what exactly is it? Learn the basics from experts. Learn what Bitcoin is, how it works, and why it matters. Blockchain 101, your ultimate guide to the fundamentals of blockchain.